Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show, coming at you from the great state of Florida. And certainly wherever you are tuning in from around the world, I want to welcome you to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. And for the regular watchers, you know what I'm going to say, smash that like button. This helps get this content out to more people and does help support the channel. Really appreciate all the comments and the questions that get left. All of you that take the time, show your kindness and encouragement. Really appreciate that. And also all the questions. I do look to get back to those as soon as I'm able to. I know I've got a bunch in there that I've got to get to after I finish the stream, and I will be getting to those. So please be patient with me as I get to those. I do really appreciate those questions. Links below in the description. My cheat sheet, people ask me regularly, where is it? I put it right at the top. My cheat sheet is linked right at the top in the description so that you can check that out. And there are tons of links and resources in there, including the most amazing Discord community on the planet, the Stocks with Josh Discord. I am in there daily, connecting with amazing community there. So check out the links. Those links are also below in the description, but they're also in the cheat sheet as well. There are tons of other stuff in the cheat sheet as well. So check those things out. I'm not going to go into them all for the sake of time, but do take a look at that. And I did want to say that yesterday I had put out on the videos about the one-on-one trainings, these one-on-one trainings with me. These are paid trainings, and that I was limiting to 5 spots. And so we have got a bunch of emails in, and I have locked in those top 5. However, I may be opening it up to more spots. I'm going to stick with 5 for now. And so if you do, I am creating a wait list, and I'm going to go ordered off the email. So if you do want to be on that wait list and hold your position, and of course, if somebody isn't able to do it or it doesn't take one of those spots, it's going to go to the next person on the list. So all you have to do is click, there's an email below in the description, top of the description of this video. You click on there and you just say, hey, please, I'm interested, send me the information. I will send you information which will detail the cost and the details of the trainings with me, one-on-one trainings with me. And then I will reply from that email. Just be careful. There's no way scammers can impersonate this, because you'll have an email that you've sent me and a reply with your original content in there, so you'll know it's me that's sending it, and you can check the email address. Please keep, and the scammers aren't going to know your email address. We can still send an email, but you will be added to the wait list at this point. The 5 spots filled up pretty quick. So like I said, I only plan on doing the 5 at the moment. I thank you so much for those of you who took the time to email and have requested more information and have shown your interest there. Okay, we're going to jump into the news here. And straight off the bat, I thought this was really interesting. Long-term Bitcoin holders are aggressively buying. Over the last 2 months, long-term holders have accumulated more Bitcoin than in any other period in the last 3 years. And this is what I've been telling everybody since I started this channel in late May, that we were in the reaccumulation phase. Whales know it, smart money knows it, and I have been encouraging this reaccumulation phase with my cheat sheet and having entry levels to accumulate in this reaccumulation phase. And there are still some levels you can still get in. There is still time for some altcoins. Some altcoins have gone and they've taken off, but the majority of altcoins, I believe, are still in accumulation areas, and you can still accumulate some altcoins. And we're going to look at a couple of those. A couple more popped off. I gave some trades. I gave the Tau and the Sui trade, and then I gave the Render and the Arweave trade, and they have both popped off as well. But I still think there's an opportunity there. They haven't really taken off. And so there is some opportunity there, but this should tell us everything. So today is the day. Now is the time to look at your portfolio, look at what money you have in reserve, and look at what altcoins have some value. And we'll be looking at that at the altcoin show in just a couple of hours. So check that one out. Okay, Coinbase clarity. This is much needed. Amended ETF S1 today by BlackRock amends the custody agreement with Coinbase, requiring Coinbase to deposit actual Bitcoin directly on chain within 12 hours of instruction. After concerns were raised, Coinbase was selling paper Bitcoin to the ETFs. This is a solid move by Larry Fink and a very good move as well. There was no transparency around Coinbase. Coinbase were not sharing the address so people could see the amount of Bitcoin that were holding in custody. And Larry Fink has pulled a great move by saying, hey, this needs to be solid and in writing to make sure that Coinbase are actually holding and buying that Bitcoin chain, and it's on chain, so that, because people are going, all these ETFs are buying, why isn't the price going up? And so this is very powerful, great move, BlackRock, to bring some transparency there and make sure that Coinbase are doing the right thing. And not saying that they weren't doing the right thing, but there were certainly question marks there. The money supply is going up after the deepest contraction level since 1960. I wasn't even born in the 60s. So that's been a long time. And so look at this. I mean, this is a coil up. If you were ever to see a coil up, it's like a setback for a comeback of the money supply. So let's see what shakes out. But generally, Bitcoin follows the money supply, and money supply is absolutely crushing right now to the upside. Historically, Bitcoin has broken out from its post-halving reaccumulation. Remember, this is a reaccumulation range. We're not about to start a bull run. We've been in a bull run since January 2023. We've been in a bull run for about 18 months. If you don't think we've been in one, you've been holding the wrong coins. Currently, it's 157 days after the halving. History suggests Bitcoin should be ready for a breakout soon. But it's important to note that the lingering rate of acceleration in the cycle still has some 70 days or so. In other words, we broke out too quickly. And if we sustain that rate of breakout, the bull market would have been over a lot quicker. So this reaccumulation phase and sideways phase has gone on a little, and it could lengthen out a bit longer or break out a bit later to enable a longer bull run. If we break out too soon, like Bitcoin just shoots off all of a sudden, then the bull run technically, based on this historical cycle and data, could end a little bit sooner than normal, okay? So there's just very, very interesting data there from Rect Capital. I do really appreciate his understanding of the Bitcoin cycle. He seems to be the guru and the master of that. Average quarter four Bitcoin returns is 88%. And so don't fade Bitcoin in the fourth quarter in a bull run. And I think this is even included. I'd like to see what the number is in the year of the halvings. Maybe somebody can work that out. But taking 2020, that's 168, 2016. And do we even have 2012 on here? We don't. But if we just took these two, I wonder what that would be. Or is that just in the halving year? Or the average and the median? Okay, so there's some good returns in quarter four. Don't fade the historical cycles, and that we look until this is broken. You trade it. You trade it. The smart money's trading it. They've been reaccumulating. I'm trading the cycles until the cycle is validated as being broken. And right now, it is following exactly as it has every other time. So we just want to be smart with that. Over the next week or so, history suggests we'll be transitioning away from reaccumulation phase into the parabolic upside phase. So you can see what happens here. We have the reaccumulation range, and then we go into the parabolic phase. Here we are, but look, this is just shown, and we just followed, and this is the next phase of the bull cycle if things play out as they have historically there. So Bitcoin is testing the 200 SMA for the third time since August. A breakout here could be a major bullish signal. And so what I'll say about this is that you can see how we're kind of calling out. We'll look at the charts in a moment, how we're kind of hugging up here. The wicking is a little bit longer than what I would like. I'd like to see some more full-bodied closed candles up against there. But we'll look at the charts in a little bit of a moment. I mean, obviously, we've got the inverse head and shoulders there. That's an obvious thing here. But certainly, we're going to jump into the charts and have a quick look about what's going on here with Bitcoin. Okay, so as you can see, we have this here. And I'd like to see a little bit more full-bodied candles like we do have for the 200 EMA like this. This is what I want to see here. as we broke out from there. I want to see some more full body. You can see here there's a full bodied candle here. So I'd like to see those full bodied and then a nice breakthrough to the upside. We saw here those candles just hugging that line, those candles just hugging that line there. Certainly we are seeing a little bit of a rounded pattern here, and certainly I'd like to see that level out a little bit like this. If we start to see it more round down here and we start to lose these make lower lows on a daily, so far we're fine with that. Then obviously coming back down to these levels around here, around that 61, 62K level, or even down to the 200 EMA on the daily at about $59,600, around that level. So what are we looking here from Bitcoin? Certainly if we can break through this level here, this solid area of resistance, 64, 65, and then we can look to shoot up to that 70K, 69, 70K level, where we will find more resistance. This is a huge area right here. We got two big areas here. First of all, we're at the 65K level. And then secondly, once we get up to the 70 to 73K level, huge. And once obviously we break here, and then, we'll probably look at doing a lot of what we've seen here, where we just see this shoot up, maybe jag back down again, punch around. But look, what I've got here, I'm still expecting the same. We've got a strong line of resistance. This trend line in here has acted as support, as resistance, broke down from it again, was resistance, and then we're coming up to retest it again, a breakthrough here. But this trend line here has also been massive resistance here as well. So we're coming to decision time. Look, October, November decision time, where we could have a breakout somewhere in here. And it's just a matter of being patient with Bitcoin and just looking at what is moving at the moment. But certainly for me, a break above here and a retest, that would be a place to get in the trade, in my opinion. And the line in the sand here is 65,050. If we can break above the 65,000 candle, you can see the high there was right on 65. We will create a higher high on the daily. So mark that line. We'll do it right now on here, 65. We need to break above 65. So we need just a little bit under. There we go there. We can break above. We'll put it in there. 65, we'll put an alert. Once we break above that level there, then that is creating a higher high. A retest of that, a successful retest of that, and we're then going to be looking at pushing up around the 69, 70K level, up around here. But that could be a nice little trade to jump in there. And I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, get a retest here. Certainly, we could come down and get a retest down here first. Definitely. Definitely, that is a very strong possibility. And those are the two things that I'm looking for right now. Are we going to get a rejection at the 200 simple moving average and pull down and test this area here, okay, and see if that holds, and then come back up for, chop around and come back up again? Or are we going to break through this and then a retest of it, and we're off to the races? Remember, setting a higher high here would be extremely bullish over 65. We would bust above this candle here. What was this candle higher here? No, this was 64,955. This was right on the button, 65. So a break above 65, and that is going to create a higher high on the daily time frame, incredibly bullish. So that's my little line on the sand there, and then a retest of that, obviously, and then that would be, for me, a place to enter a trade and then off to the races. Certainly there, a rejection here, and let's see if we get, this would be again my entry here. So coming down here and having a successful retest of the 200 EMA and the 50-day moving average, which are just together right there, certainly could be a good place for entry there. And that could be the last entry. We could have one last dip, one last flush out, maybe more, but generally, and that might have been the flush out here. I was telling people to buy here, buy at the dip. The low was in. All the local bottom signals that I teach in the Life Changing Gains series, episode 4. That's a free educational series. It was on my cheat sheet. And then I again called it down here and said this was the bottom down here, and load up And if you load it up, and then I unloaded here at this trend line, then again, load up again. This was a load up area. I came onto the channel. Those of you who've been following have said that people were just calling for lower lows, and they just didn't have anything to back it up really, except they just felt that the economy was bad and there were wars and whatever, but there wasn't really any other things that they were talking about that would. And when I asked people, okay, what are you basing this on, there wasn't really much that they were basing it on. Maybe they saw some influencer talk about it, and there wasn't really a strong base to it. I gave very strong bases in cases. I gave great indicators, funding rates, RSI, all kinds of things that I gave on these to show why I thought the bottom was in on all three of those cases. And each time this has proven to be 100% accurate. That has been the bottom. Not saying that we can't have another dip down or another drop down. Certainly be prepared. This will be an area that I'll look to load up here. And if we break above 65 and retest successfully, that will be an area that I'll look to load up there. That's the two trades that I'm looking for Bitcoin. And certainly I hope to see you in the next show in just a few hours. My altcoin show, my daily altcoin show, thanks to you guys really encouraging and letting me know that you wanted that on a daily basis. So I appreciate that. And until then, happy trading.